Marquez is weird. Okay, so I would try not to watch too many reality shows, and I even like try not to watch TV, but Love and Marriage Huntsville just keeps popping up. So, it's like, watch me. So I did. And Marquez is crazy. I'm specifically talking about like the Mela soldiers versus a Melometer or whatever. This is like next level. First of all, everybody's so busy worried about Marcel. We need to be worried about Maurice, because the way he was like shading Melody at that meeting that they had, when he started bringing up her stuff with Martell, she fell for the trigger. She fell for the trap because she was not bothered by the other stuff that he said. So he just kept kind of like poking around to see what can I do to get a reaction out of her. And he got her reaction when he started talking about like her not being happy and all the type of stuff. He was just like saying stuff just to try to get a reaction out of her, and she gave him the reaction. So he got what he wanted from that situation. But then they had like a meeting or whatever with what's that dude? The guy that's with Trish, whatever, the other M dude. He's a weirdo. He is a weirdo. Okay, like I already don't bang with men that just abandon their families and their children, or I already have qualms with that when you just can go an extended period of time without contacting your offspring. I think is odd, to say the least. So I already have a thing about that. But he showed up to Melody's thing with a bouquet of flowers and just really showing up. Like, come on, dude. Like, and it seemed like him and Trish still kind of like each other, to be honest. And they're kind of like doing tit for tat, and she's trying so hard to act like she doesn't care, but he's being a total jerk off. So like, I don't even know why she has him on the show. Like, you could have just left him off, baby girl, because this is not a good look. And then Ken over here looking like Boo Boo the Fool. And I'm just saying, like, speaking from their characters, I'm not talking about how they are in real life. This is just based on the small snippets that we can see on the show. This is how he looks to me on the show. He's like, first of all, because that story with Martell and Trish and what's that? Francis, that story doesn't make any sense. And then Nell and her obsession with Fletcher, not Francis. I'm also watching House of Cards. So Fletcher and Martell's conversation didn't make any sense. And I'm just sitting there like, so they just gonna believe this stuff? Cause the math isn't mathing. They were both like, and Martell's just trying to cause fires in everybody's lives because he's angry and upset. So he knew that if he told Trish that she about Fletcher, that she would go and tell other people. Like, they all knew, so they probably like coordinated this. This was probably like a storyline that production told them to do, but it was still what it was. And like, I'm trying to figure out, like, why does Nell care so much if Melody sees her as a mentor or not? You need to be concerned about Fletcher telling a false narrative. It seemed like, I'm not saying he was, and like I said, this is a show, so we don't even know how much of this is actually really happening. So being objective, speaking from the show, she need to be worried about Fletcher. You know what I'm saying? She like, oh, well, Melody didn't say I'm her mentor. So what? And the way you be acting on here, how are you going to be her mentor? And you mentor her to stay in her marriage that she didn't want to stay in? That's not very good. And you know what I'm saying? Like, if she don't want to consider you a mentor, who gives a F? If you say you were her mentor, fine. But if she says that you weren't, I mean, what's the big deal? Why was she so upset about it? Like, I be seeing sometimes, like, she be getting mad about the smallest things and then, like, tries to flip it and emotionally manipulate the other person involved. And I'm not saying that that's what she does in real life. That's just the character that I see from the snippets that I can see in the show. And I like her. She seems like a real cool person. It's just like she definitely also seems to be emotionally manipulative. And she requires a lot. Seems like she's very needy. She requires a lot. And that probably means that she had a troubled childhood. And she seems like she has a very sweet heart, but also seems like she's very needy. So I don't know. And it's like why everybody get on and then they like have to go up against Mel? Because I thought her and Mel were very cool. So that's why I'm not understanding. And then when she like told Kimmy how to feel about the bedroom situation, like when they were friends, Neil and Fletcher, Miss Nell and Fletcher seemed like they were more like they just had a different personality, but and now like that we see them more often, it's a little bit like, oh, wait a minute. This is why y'all on this show. Okay, because next time we're going to hear that Fletcher got some lady on the side. I'm not saying he does at all. I'm just saying that's what we're going to hear next. They already saying that Marceau got this and that kid up and down the Mason-Dixon line. Maurice seemed like he be out there in these streets too, if I'm being honest. Then what they saying about Martell just running around dousing people's houses with fire, like, gotcha. I'm gonna come at you next, you know what I'm saying? It's just crazy, but I don't like how everybody's coming at Melody, and I'm not a Melometer, I don't prescribe to any fanhoods. I just feel like it seems like you, in order to get on this show, you got to go up against Melody. It seems like she's the protagonist. And granted, she do be saying some off the wall, slick, shady stuff, but she usually is not unprovoked. She's usually responding to something that occurred, because when that stuff was, I gotta go back and watch season 1 again and like really just see so I can make sure that what I'm saying is not wrong. But like, she seems to be relatively composed and sensible, and it seems like the cast just pick with her. And like when she was going through that stuff with Martell, like I was trying to figure out like when her and Maurice were talking, he brought it up like, oh, you were embarrassed and humiliated, and when you first entered this platform and into this space. And it's like, what does that have to do? What does her husband betraying her trust have to do with you getting a DUI and her calling it out? What does one have to do with the other? Why are you throwing low blows here? So, she be responding to what energy she's getting usually. Now, that's what it just seems like. And it seems like everybody just be coming for her. So I'm like, are they incentivized as a cast to come for her specifically? Or is it just something that they do unconsciously? And the thing is, though, about this cast, like everyone is likable, like from the outside looking in, there's no person that I can, now, would I want to be friends with these people, with all of these people? That's a whole nother can of worms. But like, I wouldn't, there's no one on the show that just across the board, I would say, I don't want to be around you at all. There's nobody that I can say that to. There are people that I would be like, oh, I wouldn't want to be too close with you. But everyone in the cast has likable aspects about them, and then also aspects that cause you to be like, But it just seems like everybody be coming at Melody specifically. Like, she is the main character, and then there's everybody else. Like, Martell was the main character when he was with Melody, but now he's just a background actor. It's the Melody show, and everyone else is just there because everyone else's storyline for some reason also intertwines and has to do with her. Even the new person, she gotta, oh, I'm nervous to be here with Melody because you and Martell have a weird story, and now all of a sudden Fletcher's involved, who happens to be your cousin that you don't know. So I don't know. And then like he found her last name. He found her social media from her last name. Like, the math isn't math. And then Ken just sitting there like boo-boo the fool, like, well, whatever she says is right. Even though we did say we were going to get married, right? And I'm under the assumption that we're going to get married. She's still not divorced. And there's really no reason why she hasn't filed the papers yet, but she's been busy. She's too busy to file the papers, but not busy enough to not be on a reality show. So make it make sense. And this could all just be a plot, and none of this could be true. This could all just be something that the show created. But I'm not finished watching the episode yet, so I'm gonna finish this episode. We're gonna keep it going because I just had to make a video about that. And who knows, maybe I'll start making videos about shows or something. I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna finish watching this. If I feel like I have to say something else, I'll add to it. But just in case, bye. Please like this video, comment, share, subscribe.
Okay. First of all, Marcel is so messy. It looks like he is like a little inebriated at this part, but when he said whatever, I forgot what the guy's name is. This guy is well, he said he's married, but he identifies as single. I almost about lost it. And when he asked her, I told y'all he was weird. When he said, you want me to rub your feet for you? Excuse me, what? And she was, and then you see how Sunny, oh God, Stormy. And Stormy even on the show anymore. But when Sunny was like, and then Marcel instigated himself, start like putting it on both sides. This freaking guy don't even realize Marcel is like making fun of him. He is hilarious. Oh my gosh. Melody is such a class act though. She is such a class act. She was like, well, you can send me your proposal and I'll give it to my team and, we'll start there. Period.